y'all like, oh, she didn't commit a crime. I need to hear why the people on the left think she's innocent or didn't do anything wrong when she obviously did. Like, what argument are they gonna do now for her? Like, they do all this stuff about, no one's above the law, no one's above the law. Well, we like what she did, so we should let that go. We should let that one slide. What happened to no one's above the law? Y'all, like, people on the left, when their party does something bad, they turn a blind eye because they blatantly read the news, say, oh, she did something wrong, but they're like, nah, she didn't do anything wrong. Or the other argument, well, she might have did something wrong. Well, it should be left up to judicial review. Bruh, she committed a crime. You say, no, just give her judicial review. Isn't that not special treatment? Like, come on now. Y'all can't talk about, oh, Trump is burning the Constitution. Trump is getting rid of the Constitution. Look at what y'all doing. A judge commits a felony. A judge commits a crime. And y'all like, now let's brush over that. Y'all only saying he's arresting judges. He's arresting judges. Yeah, when the judge commits a crime, they get arrested. Like, when the judge committed a crime, do they not get arrested? Annoying poutine. When a judge commit a crime, should the judge get arrested? What's up?
Yeah, from the evidence I've seen, I cannot make a decision. Like, there's arguments on both sides. It's not clear at all, so I'm waiting.
Wait, what you mean from the evidence you've seen? The FBI said she told this illegal immigrant to sneak out the side door that's not open to the public to help him escape. Is that what are we waiting for?
Yeah, because from our version of things, their warrant was not valid, so she was trying to.
What you mean their warrant was? Wait. What you mean the warrant was invalid?
Like, there's multiple types of warrants, and for this specific arrest, like, they needed like it was not the right kind, so it basically the arrest would have been illegal from her perspective.
Wait, what you mean the arrest would have been legal? Was it not an illegal immigrant?
I still have screenshotted the legal argument. Like,
stop. Was it a legal immigrant?
Yeah, but they still have rights, and you cannot arrest.
So you can't arrest a legal immigrant for being in this country illegally?
The FBI needs a warrant. This is not ICE.
You don't. Wait. You don't need a warrant to arrest an illegal immigrant that's here illegally, do you?
Yeah. For this arrest specifically, they needed a warrant. This is why they entered with a warrant, but it wasn't like the legit kind. Like, it was one that was not valid for this specific arrest.
You could Google this. What's up?
I'm just saying, this is like a Carl Rittenhouse. Like, you should not talk about these types of cases before it goes to a court. Like, with Carl Rittenhouse, I was convinced that he was a criminal. Then the court case came. Then he proved his innocence, and then I look like an idiot. Like, this is every time I see these types of arguments, like, I lose my mind. Like, wait till they get in court. Like, we have no information right now. This is painful to hear.
Wait. What information don't we have? Do we have what she was doing?
I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now? Oh, give me a minute.
I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Wait, damn, that's loud.
Is it right? Is it loud?
It's perfect.
All right, let me know if I need to turn this down, son. Okay, because so you tell me that they can't arrest the illegal immigrant.
For this specific arrest, it wasn't because he was an illegal migrant. It was for another crime, so they needed a warrant to arrest him for this specific crime. Like, you cannot be arrested just because you're an illegal migrant and
yes,
then
you can.
be charged.
You could be taken up for being an illegal migrant. What are you talking about? What if you're here illegally? The government can't kick you out.
Yeah, but this is the FBI. I don't think the FBI has the right. Like, this is not the right institution. Like, institutions have some kinds of rights and their priorities, and
what warrant does the FBI need to take out this illegal immigrant?
I don't know. You should ask her. Like, she gave a semi-decent argument. If she's correct about the warrant, then she was in the right. If not, then she was in the wrong. We have to wait in court and see the court interpretation of the warrant and his legal right.
So you're not saying that the person that was here illegally?
He was here illegally, but his arrest was not for being here illegally. Like, this is why he was in court.
What do you mean? You talking about why he was in court?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was in court because he was trying to get his legal status. Like, this was a hearing about.
He was in court because he was being accused of beating a woman.
Yeah, maybe. Wait,
Cobra Warlord. Your volume blasting. You got some backbeat or something.
Look, all I'm saying, let's wait because this is way too soon to even talk about it. Like, I don't know the specifics of the case. You don't know the specifics of the case. And by the way, your picture is AI. So
I know it's AI, but it's still a funny picture. It's like a attention grabber.
Yeah, it did grab my attention. But
So
one question: Did you read the Jack Smith indictments like you promised to me?
I'm not gonna lie, I had some stuff come up. I didn't get to that.
You damn bastard, my what
Bro,
a
to be
lie! You're
honest,
doing
bro,
TikTok
I don't
live.
care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care.
You don't care if Trump did a coup attempt or not.
A coup,
What?
bro. How do you have a coup where you have more grannies than guns?
Because okay, once again, the insurrection at the Capitol, the storming of the Capitol, was not the coup attempt. The coup attempt was the 7 false lists of electors.
How do you legally challenge an election?
By going to court, I'm talking about fake electors, like trying to steal it in Congress.
How do you legally
not in the
challenge an
courts.
election?
By beating on it, like get down, baby.
See,
Why did
you're not
you
gonna,
say
you don't want to answer that
erection?
question, bro. All like
I just answered.
you
I
said,
just
so you
answered.
gotta go through court, right? Did he not go to court?
Yeah,
Did a whole bunch of states change their election laws like right before this election?
Yes, legally it was challenged.
So they
in
changed
all of
it.
their
So,
Supreme
so
Court.
isn't that what he was trying to challenge? Like right before election, you're gonna change the election laws, and you think that's like, oh,
No,
that's
it was
perfectly
lying
fine.
about ballot dumping and them faking ballots and the Dominion machines and all that stuff. That was not.
You
what it
ever
was
went to the
all-
hacker? You ever heard from the hacker convention where they said that they're able to hack these machines?
Are you? Yes, and Billboard at the FBI dismantled one of these machines to examine it, and the FBI reported that they had nothing. And right after that, Donald Trump.
The FBI,
still-
yeah, the FBI that did the Russia collusion, the FBI that said, "Oh,
No,
this
what?
was
Wait, Russia collusion. This
no,
was
the FBI.
Trump's
My bad.
FBI.
The FBI that also said that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian propaganda. That FBI.
No, this was not the FBI. They were ex-members of the FBI. They were
So
not
they're
part
using
of
their
the
they're
FBI.
using their credibility as being members of the FBI to say that, right?
No, I'm saying that the FBI had a team specifically made for that to examine the specific of the machine at the request of the Trump
Bro,
DOJ.
I'm not gonna lie. Last time we was talking about this, TikTok did block you or block us, right?
Yeah, because I was reported for misinformation, and then I was unblocked on the spot because they verified it and they saw that I was speaking straight
I
facts.
don't want to get my life taken down. I just need to know.
No, I was-
Are you?
No,
do
it
you
was not
support
with-
you don't support the judge, do you?
It depends. I need to look at the case better and wait to see the arguments on both sides.
So
Like,
do you
if she's
think-
correct, then I support
Do you
it.
think that she's allowed to if another person's trying to arrest them, like the federal government is trying to arrest this person, that she's allowed to say, "Yo, go through the side door to get away from them"?
If the arrest was illegal, I think there's a legal merit to protecting
So
him.
she's allowed to, if
protecting-
federal agents are trying to arrest someone. Let's say they didn't have an arrest warrant, they're wanting to arrest them. Is she allowed to say, "Yo, go through this door to get away from them"?
absolutely. Yes, I think that I've seen a case of cops getting shot because they were doing an illegal arrest and the guy got freed. Like they
Yeah,
went to
then
court
they-
and he was
then-
proven
wasn't
innocent
that
because he
later-
was justified in his
Then like
rights.
a whole bunch of states or something was changed where that say even if you are like resisting legally, you can't kill a cop. Wasn't that
Yeah, but
changed?
what I'm saying is that you can resist an arrest if it is justified by if there's an
Like
illegal
excessive
arrest.
force or something like that, right?
Yeah, but this
They
is
had
not
the right to arrest him
exi-
because he was here illegally.
Yes, but this is not excessive force. Like if she just let him out, like the FBI cannot say, or he ran away from an arrest because the court would just say, well, yeah, the arrest was illegal, so who cares? He didn't break a law since the arrest was
legal?
not legal.
Okay, let's say the FBI didn't have a warrant. What would be illegal about that arrest?
To arrest him without a warrant, you need to have a warrant to arrest
Even if they're
someone or
illegal
probable-
immigrant and you know
Yes.
they're here illegally?
You cannot arrest someone for another crime. Like I don't think the FBI has the authority to arrest people for being illegally here. By the way, it was in the court of law.
You saying the FBI can't arrest someone that's here illegally?
I mean, why would he be arrested for being there illegally? Like
He's
it was
in the
already
country
in the court of
illegally.
law.
So you're saying the FBI
No,
can't?
he was in a court of He was in a court of law that
Where was that?
acknowledged
What country was that court in?
the U.S. It was in Wisconsin. It was in Milwaukee.
What? So that was in America. So in the FBI are allowed to. I'm looking up. The FBI can't arrest illegal immigrants for being here illegally.
Okay, the guy was already found to be an illegal migrant. He was in court, and the court case was related to his illegal
court-
status.
what
So
was the
this
court
does
case
not
for?
mean
The court case
It
was
does.
for domestic abuse, wasn't it?
I don't know. This is irrelevant. Like I'm saying that
So he's saying the
they
court case
knew-
was irrelevant?
No, I'm saying that it doesn't make sense. The FBI will arrest him for being illegally here while he's in the.
Annoying Putin live content is flagged for civic and election integrity repeated
Yeah,
violation.
we cannot speak about the election. My bad. I mean, I didn't say anything. What? We didn't even.
Bro, let's leave. I told you don't bring that stuff up, and you wanted to press the subject.
Okay, read the Jack Smith indictments, and then we can speak about it.
Just stop bringing it up, bro. I don't want to get taken. I don't want to get like blocked on this thing.
Yeah, because we spoke about the.
So you telling me that
because we spoke.
I'm looking it up.
It's because we spoke about the election. We cannot speak about the election, but we can speak about the Jack Smith indictments. I had
Bruh,
hours
stop
long.
doing this. You're gonna get blocked.
I had.
I'm not the one blocking you either. You know this little like.
No, I had hours long conversation about the Jack Smith indictments, but this only pops up when we talk about the what we can talk about, like the 2020 thing. So we can talk about the Jack Smith indictments. Read it.
Bruh,
it's
your
really
live
good
is getting
information.
flagged for civic. Like, can you stop doing this, big dog? Bro, you're flagging my live talking about this, bro.
Elon Musk insists.
Stop,
It's
bro.
Elon
I'm
Musk.
gonna
Elon
take
Musk
you
is
down
censoring me.
if you do this again, big
My
dog.
bad. Look, what you want to talk about, my friend?
We're talking about you tell me the FBI can't arrest someone that's here illegally?
Why would they arrest him while he was in court related to his illegal status? Like
You
it
tell
was
me.
being taken.
Wait,
into
she's an
account.
immigration judge?
No, it's irrelevant. He was in court and he took into account his rights as an illegal migrant. Like there's no.
It
It
you
doesn't
tell me
make
that
sense.
you tell me that the person was here being investigated for court for being here illegally, or that's what you tell me they were going to court for?
I think no, the court was acknowledging that it was an illegal, so it doesn't make sense that we will arrest
The
him
court
for being
acknowledging
illegal.
what?
He was being processed. He was being processed with that knowledge, which means the FBI. Why would the FBI arrest him for that specifically? Like he was already in court.
Yes, but for something else. Do you know what he was in court for?
I have to check. Like, give me 30 seconds.
His name is Flores Ruiz. I'm about to Google right now what Flores Ruiz was in court for, so you can stop saying it was for being here daggone illegally. It wasn't because of that. It was domestic violence. I could show you the bring up the defendant and stuff. Not defendant, but the person that was accusing him. Because you're trying to say that, the FBI can't arrest someone here illegally when they can is just blatantly wrong. I'm just saying. You can't just say, they can't do that. I'm pretty sure it was like a domestic violence case. Let me look this up right quick so I'm accurate. Faced 3 counts of misdemeanor battery with domestic abuse modifiers. So, bruh, Annoying Poutine, come back. I found it for y'all. I'll let you know what it is. Just come back because you're trying to defend right now someone else here because they were beating women. Is this the type of person you want to try to come here and defend?
No, I think that we should defend the law in general. You should not make exceptions for people that are bad.
So should Judge Hannah Dugan be in jail?
It depends. If she broke the law, yeah, sure.
If is helping an illegal immigrant escape the FBI and ICE, is that illegal?
If their warrant was legal, like it was the right warrant.
Do you need a warrant when you have probable cause?
If they did, I don't think they had probable cause in this situation.
So they didn't have enough. By probable cause, I mean they knew he was here illegally.
Yeah, this is not how probable cause works.
What? Then tell me how probable cause works. If you have cause to believe someone is doing something illegally, right? Reasonable articulatable suspicion.
There's a certain
right?
burden to me. It's like you cannot
reasonable
just arrest
articulated suspicion. Reasonable articulated suspicion, right? That's the thing, right? If you knew he was here illegally, you have him undocumented
it's
here.
It's the FBI. It's not a. There were not police officers. They were the FBI.
Involving Eduardo Flores Ruiz and Judge Hannah Dugan.
I'm pretty sure that the FBI does not have the right to use probable cause.
ICE was involved with the case.
Yeah, but it was the FBI. The FBI cannot arrest someone for probable cause. This is the cop's job.
ICE could arrest the illegal immigrant, and the FBI could arrest the judge, right? Yes or no? Am I wrong?
I don't even know if I think that
So
it was actually cops that arrested her.
the FBI was involved. It was ICE and the FBI that was involved.
Who put
Wrong.
in cuffs on her?
Who arrested Hannah Dugan? That's what y'all know.
Maybe I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of her getting into a police car, not an FBI car. Like I'm pretty sure the police came to the Milwaukee County
the
court.
police and the FBI were probably working in conjunction with each other.
Yeah, that's what happened. The FBI came to arrest him. They didn't have the specific warrant.
The FBI
according
was
to
with
her.
ICE.
She tried to. Yeah, and they did not have the authority to arrest her, so they called the police, and the police came and arrested her.
Where are you getting this from?
Just from the car police, like
Judge
this is not a
Dugan was
nice
arrested
car.
by the FBI on April 25th, 2025, at her home.
Then maybe like
she was arrested at her home in Milwaukee,
at her
Wisconsin,
home?
by the FBI because
Wait, at her.
Yes, I'm reading this stuff right now. She was arrested by the FBI at her home.
Okay, so they had a warrant for her. Like they did not arrest her on the spot for probable cause.
Even if they didn't arrest her on the spot, they had probable cause.
Okay, so it makes sense. Like, of course, it was not the police because the FBI asked a judge for a warrant, so they got it, and then they went to arrest her. Like, I thought she was arrested on the spot, like in court.
She wasn't arrested on the spot. She was arrested at her home by the FBI. You agree with that?
Yeah, this is my problem. Look at this conversation. We have no clue what happened.
No, stop. You have no clue because you don't want to look it up.
You have everything you said. You have to look it up.
You tell me that I was wrong about something, so because my word's not valid, so I use sources, right? Is that not what we should do?
No, what I said is that we don't know about the warrant specifically, and we have to wait for what the court sees. Warrant? Like we have to wait.
Why do you need a warrant if you know the person's here illegally?
Well, according to her, they did not have. Okay, they entered with a warrant. Like they claim to have a warrant if they did not need a warrant in the first place.
That's probable cause is knowing that the individual that's here in front of you is a legal immigrant. Right?
Okay, then why did the FBI enter with some kind of warrant then? Why not just use probable cause?
Wait, you tell me the FBI had a warrant for Flores?
Yeah, okay. Our argument is that yes, the FBI had one, but it was not valid, so she tried to make him escape. Like they were trying to, like the FBI went to the chief judge to his room and tried to ask her, debate about him, and like say we have the right to do it, and we have the right to do it. So by that time, she tried to make him escape. Like there was a debate about
ICE
it.
agent who arrested Flores Ruiz, so he was arrested by ICE. In the court reportedly only had an administrative warrant, not a judicial warrant. So they did have a warrant. It was an administrative warrant, not judicial. But irregardless, even though irregardless isn't a word, I just like it. He still was here legally, and they have probable cause to prove that he was illegally. So what did they do that was wrong?
Okay, we're talking about the judge and her.
So do you believe that judges are above the laws?
No, I think that judge can interpret the law and define the law, like they know what the law is. She probably thought that because it was just an administrative warrant,
that they could aid the person that's committing the crime to leave because it's just an administrative warrant. The judge is able to aid the criminal.
Legal migrants have right. They cannot be okay for this specific crime.
Stop. Illegal immigrants, only on the fact that they're here legally, they could be kicked out of the country, right? Yes or no?
No, they have a right to an hearing, like the Supreme Court.
They don't have a right to a hearing, expedited removal.
They still have the right, like they have the right to 24 hours, even with the enemies and
where are you getting that they had the right to 24 hours when we have expedited removal?
So this made a ruling on that because I don't remember which federal judge said that they had the right to to make an appeal within 24 hours, and it was a what's the name in Latin? It's a Latin term, but the
habeas corpus.
Habeas corpus. Yes, habeas corpus. So what the Trump administration did, they appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, they have a right within 24 hours to make an appeal.
Wasn't that for sending them to that prison in El Salvador specifically?
No, you're talking about Noem v. Abrego Garcia and talking about the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court case with all 9 judges said the same thing was about the about saying.
No. I'm talking about a different case. I'm talking about
the
Supreme Court. I don't remember the name, but the Supreme Court said, yeah, people accused of being gang members and therefore falling under the Enemies Alien Act, they have 24
Now we're
hours
talking about
to
the
make
same
an appeal
thing.
to the judge.
We're talking about the
Yeah,
same
it's
thing.
not the same thing. It's not the same thing. The Abrego Garcia was about his withholding of removal, which they did illegal in the decision. This was Noem v. Abrego Garcia.
He didn't do that illegally. The judge issued the order after he was already over like an international air. So that means it was listen. The judge issued that thing. Just let me finish. Because they're over international things, the judge cannot force the president to do international acts or do stuff with
the Supreme Court said
internationally.
he had the right. Nope.
No.
Okay, you're talking about
the Supreme Court specifically said they couldn't do that. I'll look it up for you if you don't
fine.
believe me.
Find me a source because the Supreme Court said that Judge Boasberg had the authority to bring back the planes. And by the way, by the time the order was written down, it was a written down order. There was a third plane that left off 10 minutes after that order. So no, the third plane is illegal even by your own admission. Like they left the plane after the return order from the United States. And by the way, one of the two first planes landed in Honduras. Like it landed not in El Salvador.
It's already international and they can't do that.
Okay.
Hey,
no,
judge cannot directly force the president to take action in international affairs.
The Supreme Court said okay. Why did the Supreme Court say that Judge Boasberg was okay? Judge Boasberg was told by the Supreme Court that he had the authority to bring back the planes. That's specifically what they said.
Okay, I will look up. I'm pretty sure you're getting this wrong because I'm looking it up right now. While the judge can't issue binding judgment that affects the president's action, they cannot directly force the president to take specific action in international affairs. When that plane was over in international air, that's international affairs. That has to do with a treaty or an agreement.
They said they cannot go. They cannot send them to seek out. No, they said they cannot send them to seek out. And what happened to these planes? They didn't go directly to seek out. They did not have to deboard the plane by the judge order. And one of them
can't go directly to seek out.
The Judge Boasberg.
Okay, you're saying they can't go with CCOP, but they're already over international stuff, waters, international air. It's international affairs, so the judge doesn't have the authority to affect international affairs.
What they said is that a federal judge cannot order like a foreign policy. Like they cannot say, the U.S. military has to do that thing. The U.S. military has to do this specific thing. All they said was that they did not have the right to do a specific thing. They cannot say do this action, but they have the right to say you cannot do this action legally, and that's what they said. They said you cannot send these men to El Salvador, and one of these men left off from the United States after the return order, and one of them landed in Honduras.
You tell me that a judge cannot issue a president do something in international affairs, right? We agreeing on that?
They cannot order an action, yeah.
So, if the president of America and the president of El Salvador have the agreement, isn't that an international affair?
Yeah, but they can say that an agreement can be illegal, meaning that the
was that agreement illegal? Because the only thing that the judges said that if the El Salvador wants to send them back, Trump just has to supply a plane for them. And El Salvador said, you know what? We're not sending a criminal back to America. Like, come on.
You're talking about Kilmore. No, you're talking about Kilmore Garcia, not the Judge Boasberg case. You're all over the place. We're talking about the same thing.
Okay, what are you talking about? So I could be more specific.
We were talking specifically about the Judge Boasberg order to bring back the planes, and what you said was the Supreme Court ruling about Abrego Garcia saying that they must facilitate his release.
The whole plane thing was involved with Abrego Garcia. Those things are intertwined. Those things are like part of the same situation. You know that, right? And you said there was a third plane? I don't remember hearing about this third plane. Let me see what you're talking about.
Yeah, there was a third plane, and if you look at the timeline, it left off from the United States right after the written order was written down. Like they just straight up broke the order, and they
wrote it down. Did they get it to the people that needed to read it for them to be able to force it?
Pretty sure it was sent directly, and also it's irrelevant if you cannot do an action just by using the excuse. Oh, it wasn't. We didn't know. Like you still broke the law. Like the failure will be on the Trump administration because they will have been the one not communicating in the correct way.
You said what? Say that again. I was trying to read
the. It will be considered as contempt. Like they told the Trump administration, the written order, like they gave the order to not
And
send
you
these
said for
men.
them, they said the return order. When was the return order?
Not the return order. They just said you cannot send these men back. No, sorry, you cannot
Wait,
send these men in the first place.
why can't they send them to Why can't they send Abrego Garcia to El Salvador?
Because there was a will to, okay, for him specifically it was about the withholding of removal, but for the 300
Why was there?
other men,
What was the withholding of removal for?
because he proved in court in 2019 that his life was in danger, so the Trump administration gave him a
In
withholding
danger
of
from
removal.
what or whom?
Barrio 18.
From the gang, right?
Yeah, it was threatening his family
So,
business.
okay,
He left
okay,
El
okay.
Salvador at 15 years old.
So, is El Salvador still having gang problems?
No, the gangs are in Seacut right now, and they sent him with the gangs.
So the gangs are not. Their gangs are in like a heavy secured prison, right?
Yeah, and they put him with the gangs.
So
That's
what
the
does
issue.
he have to worry about if the gangs are in this heavily secured prison?
Oh my god, my friend!
Bro, have
do
you
not
seen
think
that
what I
prison?
said
They don't have
wait,
anything. What are they gonna do to him? The guards are gonna be he's gonna be like what, protective custody? What do you mean?
Okay, I do jujitsu. You can kill a man in 5 seconds. It's extremely
Protective
easy to kill
custody.
someone.
Then,
Yeah, they're the same.
okay then. How can he have
Have
his
you seen the
job?
cells? Like
So
they're
wait,
massive cells.
Wait, why was he afraid of the gangs? Because he was a rival
Because
gang
they
member,
were threatening
right?
his family business. His mother had a business in El Salvador, and they were stealing money from it, damaging the business.
So why
and
wasn't his
threatening them.
mother? Why didn't his mother try to get signed what he did? When shouldn't it be his mother that wanted to sign, but not him? Because wouldn't his mother be doing that threatening?
No, they were both threatened. He was 15 years old. He was working for the business. It was a family
So
business.
he wasn't part of a gang.
No, it was not. What?
Did you not see the tattoos, the MS-13 tattoos? He was found with MS-13 gang members. He was found with the money like in the same way that the MS-13 gang members had their money. He was found the same way. And
You mean
informant
liquid?
wait, stop.
Liquid cash.
An informant told him that, yo, this dude is a member of MS-13. So an informant said that this dude was a member of MS-13.
No,
It's
it
a
was
trusted
hearsay
informant.
from a
It's a trusted
disgraced cop.
informant. Untrusted informant. You gotta say it correctly. It was a trusted informant.
From a disgrace cop.
It was
The cop
a trusted
was fired.
informant. The informant
Okay,
that
stop.
they had was trusted.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Jesus Christ. The cop was fired a week after that. Like, it was a
The cop
disgrace
or the
cop. And
informant?
it was Jesus Christ, man. Let me speak. And by the way, they tried to review this evidence like 2 weeks ago with federal judge Xenis from the Fourth Circus. The judge asked the Trump administration to provide the evidence, to review the evidence. And as she said, in her own words, the evidence was thin, to say the least. All they had, the one thing they had,
What about
was
2019?
hearsay. Yeah, I'm talking about 2019. The evidence in 2019,
Two
that's all
judges
they
said
had.
that he was part of MS-13.
My guy, let me speak.
You're
The
saying stuff that's
evidence from
false.
Okay,
Go ahead.
what's
Go ahead.
okay?
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
The
Go ahead. Get
order,
your statement off.
it was the evidence from 2019. It was hearsay from an unconfirmed source that never went to court, from a disgraced cop that was fired a week after. Like, you realize that the cops themselves in 2019 did not even believe that. And in 2019, an immigration judge, an executive officer of the Trump administration, saw the evidence and still gave him withholding of removal and gave him a work permit. So if he actually was proven to be a gang member, why did the Trump judge give him withholding of removal and a work permit? He was never charged, by the way.
So
The DOJ didn't even decide
just
to charge him.
than to put him through a court case. So you're talking about Judge Elizabeth.
What you say?
It's easier to remove them than to put them through a court case, right?
Can you repeat that?
It's
What?
easier to remove them than to put them through a court case.
Okay, I'm talking about 2019. The evidence that you provided
You
was
talking
from
about
2019.
Judge Elizabeth A. Kisler? Or you
No,
talking,
Judge Xenis from the Fourth Circus.
so you're not
She was the one.
talking about Judge.
She was the one
Judge
to
Kisler,
review
right?
the evidence. I'm talking about in April 2025. She reviewed the evidence that they claimed that proved it was a gang member. And as she said, it was thin, to say the least. All they could provide was that they didn't even dare to show the tattoo as evidence. All they had was hearsay from a disgraced cop. And
What was
nobody
a cop?
believed
It was an informant, not a cop. What are you
Okay,
talking about?
no, it was the cop said that he knew an informant, and the informant was never was never even
No,
brought to court.
the Alejandro Garcia was verified by MS-13 based on confidential informant claims and his clothing.
Yeah, this was the claim from the DHS, and the judge that oversaw the case, the immigration judge in 2019, saw that the evidence was so weak that they
No, that's not what
dismissed it and
you
gave
talking
him
about. Judge Kessler did not say that.
the 2019 case. The 2019 case, the
During a
immigration
bond
judge.
hearing in April 2019, Judge Kessler
Yeah.
denied Abrego Garcia release on bail after ICE presented gang-filled interview sheet from Prince George County Police Department. The GFIS completed by.
Okay, I know what you
by
don't need to read it.
detective
You don't need to read it. I know the case you're talking about. As how a lawyer covered this specifically, in these cases, the lawyer has his hand tied. He cannot dismiss evidence, no matter how weak it is.
What do you mean you cannot dismiss evidence? What are you talking about? You say you cannot dismiss evidence no matter how weak it is? I didn't hear what you said.
This was not a court case. He was not charged with a crime. What they do in this case is that they have an hearing and they don't care about the how strong the evidence is, as long as you can provide any kind of evidence.
So you're
they
telling
would
me
have
that
to
he
take
was-
it into account.
So you tell me that he wasn't a gang member. Do you see his tattoos?
He was not a gang member,
They
as
said
the
tattoos?
Judge Xenis.
Did you see
Okay,
his tattoos?
Judge Xenis, and Judge Xenis 2 weeks ago asked the Trump administration for evidence, and they provided basically nothing but
They didn't show
hearsay
the
from
tattoos?
one source.
I got a question. Why
Yes, I
does
saw the tattoos.
why does his wife cover up his hand in every picture?
Because of you guys will lose your mind over, like, it's a Kurt Cobain smiley face across a skull and a weed leaf.
Are those not MS tattoo things?
No, have you seen the actual MS-13 tattoos? They just write it down. It's not a dog whistle. MS-13 does
It's
not
what you
do
mean,
dog
it's
whistle.
they have the tattoos across their knuckles.
Yeah, okay, no. Look at the tattoos of MS-13. They specifically write down MS-13. They don't like do a dog whistle. They don't put a cross and say, "Oh, it's actually a 1." Like this is. I saw journalists that covered for their entire life gang membership and specifically MS-13, and the journalist was, "What are they talking about? I've never seen these kind of tattoos in my life." Like,
Who's this journalist? Who you
I
talking about?
don't remember. I don't remember it or
So you
word,
just
but
said
it
some
was.
random person said this about MS-13. I could say this.
It was a
I could say
journalist
this,
that
but when I
specific-
bring up the informant, you said that's not credible.
Okay, the informant was not even believed by the cops, and it was hearsay. The informant was never
So was he found
testified
with, was
in
he
court.
found with money that had the similar styles that MS-13 have their money?
What specific style? Like, you realize that the
Like
Trump
with the
administration
eyes and
did
ears
not
crossed
even.
out?
What? Okay, you realize that the Trump administration did not even use it as evidence. Like, who are you holding water for? The Trump
Bro, they don't
administration
really,
won't
bro,
even use that
they don't
in
even
court.
really need anything. All they need to say is he's here.
Yes, they do.
illegally.
No,
Can
no,
I
no,
can I
no,
finish?
they
Can I
do.
finish? Can I finish? I'll let you finish. All they need is he's here illegally. Oh, if he's afraid of gang violence in El Salvador, there is no gangs currently right now. They're all in prison in a heavily secured prison. So what's the point? So even if, like,
Okay,
even
the
I got a
fourth
question.
circus
I got a question. If let's say that he El Salvador said we'll send him back, and he came back to America, right? What would happen to him next?
He can have his work permit back. He was a
No,
legal
he would-
migrant since
he would be
2019.
deported to another country.
Which country?
Egypt.
He's a citizen from El Salvador, and he has a family in the United States
Yeah.
and a work permit.
Yeah, he doesn't have permanent resident status or citizenship status. He could be
He
deported.
had a work. Yeah, he had a work permit.
work
You can
per-
stay legally in the United
Wait,
States with
didn't we
a
go?
work
Didn't
permit.
we go over this again? Daggone, who was it? Rick Scott, not Rick Scott. Marco Rubio could revoke his visa and stuff, right? His work permit, right?
Okay,
Can
then
it
bring
not
him
be
back and
revoked?
deport him. Okay,
bro.
yeah. Okay,
Bro, that's
you're talking about a slave camp, by the way. Like, you're talking about him being a slave camp. Yeah, it
know,
will be
the 13th
better if he
Amendment
was
that you-
brought back in the United States.
The 13th
and
Amendment says
be
that
sent back
prisoners
to a
could be-
free country.
You know, the 13th Amendment says that we could that slavery is legal, so any prison could be a slave camp in America, right? According
Yeah,
to
and
the
it's
13th
bad to
Amendment.
send innocent people. Okay, do you think it's good? Okay, yeah,
What
it
you
says
mean
as a
innocent? What is
punishment
he?
for
He's
crime.
not innocent. He was here illegally.
Wait, okay, name the charge. $10,000. I will send you $10,000 if you can meet one charge for a crime. One.
Being in this country illegally.
That's not the crime he was charged. He was never charged with
You
it.
said name one crime, right? Was he not here
Wait,
illegally?
wait, did you just wait? In 2019, the Trump administration gave him a work permit. They gave him legal status in the United States
That
with
and
a
that could be
withholding of
revoked.
removal. Yeah, okay, yeah, your green card can be revoked. You're still a legal migrant when you have your green card. Same
No, he
thing with a
didn't have a
work
green
permit.
card. He didn't have a green card.
Yeah, he had a work permit. He had a
Yes,
work
a
permit,
work
which
permit,
made him
and
a
which
legal
could be
migrant.
revoked.
Yeah.
That's not the same as a green
Yeah,
card.
oh my god. Okay.
That's not the same as a
Okay.
green card, and
Take
that's
a
not
deep
the same as
breath. Take a
citizenship.
deep breath. Yeah, that's not what I said. Okay. You said it was here illegally. My response is yeah, he had a work permit making it legal. Your counter argument is well, if they remove it, is now illegal. Yeah, no shit. But what I'm saying is that as before his deportation, he was a legal migrant. So since 2019 until his illegal deportation, he was a legal migrant. So your argument doesn't make
Wait, wait,
sense.
wait, wait, wait,
Like
wait.
what
Where are you
crime?
getting that he had a work permit or work visa?
In 2019, the Trump administration gave him a work permit, and the requirement to keep that work permit
No, no, no,
was
no,
that
no.
every single year.
In 2019, an immigrant judge granted him withholding of removal.
And the work permit. Yes, both. Why did you think he was
Look,
meeting?
look, before
He
you
met.
continue, look it up right now because in 2019, an immigrant judge just granted him withholding of removal, which basically means, hey yo, we could kick you out, but we can't just bring you to El Salvador. Like, there's no record of him having a work permit or a visa.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Did Gilmore Garcia have a work permit? The answer is yes.
What source you found? Can you share your screen?
Just no, I cannot. I don't have any.
What was the name of the what we say Abrego Garcia? I think I maybe put the wrong name. I might have made a mistake. Let me see. Yeah, I did Abrego yeah. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right?
So yeah. So my point since
No,
2019.
What source did you stop? What source said that he had a work permit?
It was Fox 5 News, and it was linking to the legal case in 2019 from the court.
5 News. I'm not seeing this. He had a withholding of removal. I'll give you that.
Okay, look at the chat. I just give you the name of the article. He had the reason why do you think he was meeting ICE every single year? The requirement to keep the work permit
with his withholding of removal.
Okay, why didn't ICE deport him then every year when they saw him?
Because after 29, because the type of judges they had were kind of like a little liberal.
No, it was a Trump judge.
What does that mean?
It was under Trump. It was the Trump administration in 2020. Trump was the president.
Regular immigration status. Immigration status under intense scrutiny.
You need to understand this.
Now, I'm looking up this.
Is withholding of removal? Yeah, the withholding of removal made sure that he could not be deported to his home country, meaning that they didn't know where to send him, so they gave him a work permit instead, and they met up with him every single year to verify if he still had his union job.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
In the article, does the word work permit shows up?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I reverse search it.
Because I'm reading other sources that say he did not have a work permit. I'm trying to find it. Let me send you a sword.
Okay, look at the chat. Look at the chat. Agents reviewed his immigration case and held a work permit. The ICE was verifying if he still had his work permit, and he did. Okay, can you not reverse on Google? Like you can just go in the share bar and use the research on the page and type work permit.
Oh, I'm using I was using Elon Musk AI.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I just tried also with like ChatGPT and Grok. I asked Grok, did Kilmore Garcia have a work permit? There's like probably 15 sources.
I'm not seeing this.
Okay, I just typed it on Grok. The first word of the answer is yes, it did. Okay, did you type did Kilmore Garcia have a work permit?
Yeah, that's what I typed into Grok. I trust Grok. I trust my boy Elon Musk.
Okay, and why does it say yes on my side? What's your answer actually?
Court record and judicial review, blah blah blah. Describe his undocumented holding. Who is not his. And
This
I have a
status.
question: does a work permit mean that they can stay in the country?
Yes, it's a legal status. You can have it removed, but until then, you are a legal migrant, and he kept it every single year when he was meeting up with ICE. Like, isn't it embarrassing that you don't know about this case and you're
No.
debating it?
Wait. Stop. Even the source you said that it's not a work permit is not a like it's not legal. You could be removed.
Yeah, you can have it removed. Yeah, he was a legal migrant, but you can still be removed as a legal migrant, right?
This did not grant him citizenship. The United States does not owe him
Yes!
citizenship. That was according to Smith,
This
right?
is just
So he can't be removed.
okay. Just like with a green card holder, just like with an asylum seeker that had his asylum accepted, same with a temporary visa, same with a visa that was accepted. Like there's so many types of legal status in the United States.
Can he be removed? Yes or no? I'll grant
Yes.
you that the fact I'll say okay, he had a work permit. Does that work permit stop him from being able to be removed?
No, it's irrelevant to the case.
Okay. The case is he went before. They said that he's here legally, right? Even he had a withhold. He had an order of withholding, right?
No. What they said was he's a gang member, so we will deport him. This is what the Supreme Court said. This is the Trump administration first argument. This is what they presented to the Supreme Court.
Even they brought him back. Can he be kicked out to a different country?
Yes.
So what's the point of bringing him back just to kick him out to another country?
Because it's in a maximum facility prison that has reports of torture.
And how can we force another country to give us one of their citizens?
It's okay, simple. You stop paying for it. Like the Trump administration admitted that they were paying them every single year to keep it here.
Everybody knows like what, $6 million or something?
Stop the payments. You stop the payments. You negotiate. And by the way, Trump is talking about bringing back local manufacturing from all around the world.
So why would he bring that illegal?
One man. Wait, he can't bring back one man, but he's supposed to bring back Apple. What?
He's supposed to bring back Apple? He's not necessarily trying to bring back Apple. He's just trying to remove China's hold on Apple or force Apple to move somewhere else, another country.
So you're telling that he can.
Do you know what? You know the problem that Trump has with China? That they don't play fair with their when they have another foreign country. Question: does China not steal intellectual property when another country goes into China and builds there?
Probably, I don't care. Don't deflect.
So this is not deflecting. This is part of the thing, right? If a company
no, it has nothing to do with Kilmore Garcia.
No, you just brought up China. You just brought something up. Did you not?
No, I will repeat what I said. I said that Trump is supposed to be able to bring back billions of dollars in manufacturing, but he cannot bring back one man that he's paying to keep there.
Didn't South Korea say they're going to invest like a couple $1 billion in America? Didn't Japan do the same thing?
Stop deflecting. Jeez, I'm not talking about local manufacturing. I'm saying that the Trump administration, it can absolutely bring back Kilmore Garcia. This makes no sense. The only reason why he's there is because
I'm not saying that he can't bring. I'm not saying he can't bring him back. I'm just saying, why would he? It'll be a waste of time and resources for just to deport him to another country.
No, because they broke the law. You fix your mistakes.
They didn't break the law.
Trump made the mistake.
They didn't break the law.
Okay, no. Go on the Supreme Court website. Look up the opinion of the 9-0 decision after Noem v. Abrego Garcia. They word for word said that this deportation was illegal.
They said that they have to help them bring him back. They didn't say they have to force the other people to bring him back.
No. They said they must facilitate his return.
Facilitate is the key word.
Can you let me finish? They write in the opinion of the Supreme Court after they made the decision. Well, they explained their rationale. This word for word said that his deportation was illegal entirely. Like the word for word said, the deportation was illegal.
Did they say that in the
Case
ruling
done.
or the opinion?
The opinion of the ruling,
So
like
what
every
is so
ruling has an
wait,
opinion.
stop. Yeah. And sometimes when another judge disagrees, they have a different opinion. The opinion
No, no,
is
no,
not
no, no, no,
law.
no. No, okay, no. The Supreme Court ruling is
Opinion
entirely
is
based on
not a
opinion.
law. Supreme Court opinion is
Okay,
not
no.
law. Is
Okay,
Supreme
the
Court opinion
Supreme Court.
law? Is a Supreme Court opinion law? Yes or no?
No, what? The
Is
Supreme
the
Court
Supreme Court
defines the
when
law.
the Supreme Court write an opinion, does the opinion become law or the
They
other stuff?
define the law. No, they define it. They define
No,
the law
they
in
said
their
the word. They
opinion.
said the word facilitate him back. Right. That means supply a
No,
plane. What does the
no, this was
what
Judge.
does facilitate him his return means?
This is not what they said. Okay, can you
You
want me
just
to?
said
Okay,
facilitate his return, right?
okay.
Word for
No, the
word, you
Supreme
said
Court did.
facilitate his return, right or
Okay,
wrong?
no. What
Did I
the?
get it right
Okay,
or did
no.
I get it
What the?
wrong? Did they yes or
Wrong,
no?
wrong.
So
You did. Yes, you did. Yes,
so
you
he
did.
so
You
they
were
didn't say
wrong.
facilitate his return. Go
Correct.
ahead, tell me what they
You want
said.
me to explain? Okay, they sent it back to the lower court because the Supreme Court
What
was
did they
responding to an
say?
appeal.
What was
The
the thing they
lower
say?
court must. Okay, okay,
What did they say?
they're saying it. Jesus Christ, you're so sorry. Okay, what the lower court said was they must execute his return, and the Supreme Court said this term is too vague. What do you mean by execute his return? They said facilitate. This is what the lower
So
court
they said
said, and
facilitate his
when
return.
the lower court says that, and by facilitate they mean execute. This was the first term. They both mean the same thing,
But
meaning
the
that they
current term
must.
says facilitate, right?
They mean the same thing. They just use a different word to make be less broad.
What
So they
does what does
con-
facilitate means? Basically,
they
doesn't it
must
mean
end
supply
payment.
a
They
plane
must
if he is to be returned by El Salvador?
no. They said no. They said release. They didn't. By the way, the Supreme
They
Court
said
and the
what?
lower court did not say that. They did not say that they must bring him back. They said they must be released from CCOT. You must be released from the facility.
Trump can't release him from CCOT.
He can by okay. When they say facilitate, they talk about things like putting pressure on
But
the
wait,
El
stop.
Salvador
You
government
told me
by
that they
stopping
didn't say
payments.
facilitate.
Okay, the lower court said facilitate, and by that they meant put pressure on the El Salvador government
They
and
didn't write.
stop the
They didn't.
payments.
Wait. I thought a lower court can't force international affair Trump to act in an international affair.
Yes, okay, no, they absolutely can. So
No, they
if you
can.
break the law, you must.
They can't. They can't force him to act in international affairs.
Okay, so what do you think they mean by facilitate?
What they mean by facilitate? If El Salvador says you could have him, we gotta supply a plane. That's facilitating his return.
No, that's not okay. Why did the Scots did not? Okay, Scots did not say that. Like, why do you get this
What does
argument from? Like,
facilitate
supplying the
mean?
plane.
Facilitate does not mean, hey,
Things
go
like
to El
stop.
Salvador and force him to be returned. Facilitate his
No,
return
things like
means, hey,
stop.
yo,
Okay,
help him out
no,
with
it's
coming back
deport.
here, like supplying a
Yeah,
plane.
like stopping payments. Okay, you realize that the port of his deportation was paying the El Salvador
They
government to
already
take
had
him
a
in.
signed agreement. That means that he will have to
You
do
talk a
international
lot.
affairs.
You don't know that you speak a lot. Like I
You do
cannot
too,
even
big
make one
dog.
point.
You do
Yeah,
too.
but I let you speak. You cut me out in every single point.
Okay,
Like
go ahead.
by the way, we were talking about was his deportation illegal or not. What I said that is that Scotus entirely said, like as a whole, nobody said the opposite. They all said that his deportation was illegal. When they do an opinion, this just means that they're explaining the rationale behind the ruling. So they said that the ruling was done because his deportation was illegal. This is why the ruling was 9-0, because they all believe that deportation was illegal, meaning that the Trump administration broke the law. Do you acknowledge, yes or no, that they broke the law?
I don't know the exact Supreme Court rule. I'm trying to read it right now to see if he broke the law. Right?
Okay,
Isn't that what you
if
do
I'm
when I
correct-
ask you a certain question? You're like, I don't know right now. I don't know right now.
Oh my. Okay, the thing you said you read the Supreme Court ruling, like you will know if you
No,
read
no,
the opinion.
I didn't read the
Like,
whole
how do
thing
you
word
know
for
that?
word. Did I say? I didn't say that.
Okay, go look up Noem v. Abrego Garcia Supreme Court opinion and reverse search illegal. You will see illegal deportation of Abrego Garcia.
Ruling in a unanimous 9-0 decision on April 10, 2025, the Supreme Court upheld Judge X order to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S. Facilitate Abrego Garcia's return. Rejecting the.
Are you using AI? Are you using
Okay,
AI?
I'll go read the exact court case then.
Oh my fucking god.
I trust Elon Musk AI. My bad. Sorry. Just because you don't trust my
It's
boy
a
Elon Musk
garbage.
AI.
No, it's a garbage AI. And like I've seen a lawyer debate one guy that was doing the exact same thing as you. Grok is extremely
Is that
bad.
happening right now?
Yeah, Grok is extremely bad
Am
at
I a lawyer
analyzing
debating a
legal
court case?
documents.
Come on now. I'm not a lawyer. Come on.
No, I said I watched a lawyer debate this argument against a guy like you doing exactly the same thing using AI. Like this is so cringe. Like why
On
would you
April
use an AI
4th, the
when I
United
told
States
you?
District Court for the District of Maryland entered to order directing the government to facilitate and effectuate the return of Abrego Garcia to the United States by no later than 11:59 p.m. on Monday, April 7th, on the morning of the United States. That was the Supreme Court. That was part of it, right? Let me see what this is. The order to the order properly requires the government to facilitate Abrego Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador and had to ensure that his case handled as it would have been had I can't read this from far away. Had been he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. The intense scope of this term affected in the district court's order is however unclear and may exceed the district court's authority. May exceed the district court's authority because they can't order the president to take action in international incidences, right?
One thing at a time.
Because
Was it illegal? Yes or no?
it said that they said facilitate and effectuate. They said the term effectuate is unclear because of the authority of the daggone court at that time. It doesn't have the ability to direct to Trump to do something in a international incident. Am I right
Was
or
it
wrong?
illegal? Was it illegal? One point at a time. Was it legal? Yes or no?
I gotta read into that.
Oh,
No, you
it's obviously illegal.
first you wanted to focus on the facilitate and effectuate, right?
No, at first I want to. We have to agree that the deportation was illegal. Like, why do you think the Supreme Court, the conservative Supreme Court, all ruled that they must facilitate his return because it was obviously illegal?
Yeah, okay.
If it was legal,
I'll read it. It says it was illegal for him to go to be sent to El Salvador, only El Salvador. But why was it illegal for him to be sent to El Salvador?
because they lied about him being a gang member. This is why Judge Jose specifically asked the Trump administration to provide evidence of his gang membership, and they had nothing. She said herself that the evidence was thin, to say the least. Like, I'm losing my mind. Why are conservatives defending this case? This is such a weird hill to die on. Like,
Bro,
every single
we're not really like, to be honest, I don't really care because at the end of the day, even if he does come back, he's gonna be sent right out. It's like he's gonna come back to place. The plane is gonna touch down in America and then go right back to another country.
Nope, he will need due process. He will have to
He
be
had due
sent
process. He
into
had due
court.
process. He was here illegally.
Okay,
They
why did
found
the
him.
Supreme Court?
Stop. He was
No.
here illegally, right? Is he here illegally?
No, legally. We already went
No,
over it.
he's
You
not
asked
a
your own AI.
citizen. Stop. Is he a citizen?
Wait. Did you say
work?
that
Okay,
legal
I'll
status
give
is
you-
only citizenship?
I'll give you this. Oh, he had a work permit, right? That doesn't grant him the right to stay in the country.
Your own AI said that he was a legal migrant, so drop the argument. If
No,
you want to
it
say,
did not. It did not. It did not say that.
Okay.
It did not say
Okay,
that. Okay, I'm
before his
telling you. I'm
deportation,
telling you.
1 month.
No, I'm telling you.
1 month
this.
before his deportation, was he legal here or not? Was he legal?
He was not
1 month
legal.
before
He was an illegal immigrant. What made him
Which-
legal?
okay, which
What made
timeline?
him
What
legal?
timeline?
What made him here?
Is-
What made him legal?
His work permit.
No, it doesn't. He still could be removed with a work permit.
Oh my fuck. Okay, your own AI said that he was here illegally because of the work permit given
Just
in
Google, can a
2019.
person be removed with a work permit?
Okay, you need to decide. Is he legal or is he illegal but with
I
a
never
work
said
permit?
he was here legally. I said
What?
even if he.
Oh,
What the
You
fuck
just
are
did. You
Why
said he
getting
was
mad at
not
me?
here.
I never said he was here legally. Listen to what I'm saying. I might not speak the best English, but listen to what I'm saying.
You just said he was an illegal migrant. Yes or no?
He was an illegal migrant.
What year?
He's still
Okay,
an illegal
give me the
migrant.
timeline.
In 2024, he was illegal. 2025, he was an illegal migrant.
Send me a source because ICE met with him every year. Why didn't they deport him if he didn't have legal status?
They didn't deport a lot of migrants that they knew that was here illegally, right?
Okay, no, they specifically met with him. Okay, why do you think they were meeting with him every single year?
I don't know. Go ahead, tell me.
Because he had a work permit, and the work permit was dependent on the judge asking him to meet ICE every single year to do a checkup if he still had his family and his
So
union
can you
job.
be removed if you have a work permit?
No,
Yes or no?
no.
Why not?
Because you have a work permit, first they must remove the work permit. His work permit was never removed.
I'm. What is this?
Like okay,
SEDGATH
your own
law.com. Conclusion.
source.
While having a work permit in the United States provide a legal pathway for foreign nationals to work, it does not completely protect you from the risk of deportation. Immigration laws, criminal
Yeah, because
activity,
they
and
can
charges.
yeah, because they can remove it. You have to understand this.
It
There's
doesn't.
steps before the removal. They must first remove the work permit, then you become illegal. Abrego
No, you're
Garcia
already
did not.
illegal.
No, okay, I will explain it again.
Look it up.
When you have a when you have a work permit, you have legal status. They can
Immigrants
remove the
have
work
ability
permit,
to
but
remove work
until
permit.
then,
Is it an immigrant? Like,
until okay,
okay, I read.
they
I'm not
remove
reading
it.
what this is from. What is SE? I can't read that fucking word. SEDAGHTA law.com. It's basically, it said that you could be removed with a work permit.
Yeah, after they removed the work permit,
It
he
not-
did not have his work permit removed
Where are you seeing that say after you remove a work permit?
because I saw a lawyer debate this talking point. This talking point doesn't even make sense. Like, what on what base was he deported then?
Because he was an illegal immigrant. What are you talking about? He just had a work permit.
Nope.
That doesn't grant you the right to stay here.
You do realize that the Trump administration didn't even give this argument, like, who are you holding this order for? Like, the Trump administration did not say, oh, he was an illegal migrant. They said, yeah, he was an illegal migrant, but he was a gang member, and they have no proof. Like,
They
you
didn't have
need
to.
get
They
your
didn't have to
documents
say
straight.
but. They didn't have to say but. They all they had to say was he's an illegal migrant. But
He was
because
illegal
people
since
like
2019.
you have a problem with them
Go on,
removing
bro.
legal
Okay,
migrants just because they're illegal, he said, and there's other stuff too. And
Okay, is your
did he beat his wife? Did he beat his wife? Did he beat his wife?
Nope, his wife said no. His wife said no.
Why did his wife file a police report then?
She asked for a TRO because she used to be a victim of domestic abuse from another man. So when they had a
it was from
disagreement,
him.
wait, let me
He was the one
speak.
that-
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
Okay, she had a TRO against him, a restraining order, because they had a disagreement, and she was scared that the same thing will happen, that he will start beating her. So she had a court date to prove that he was beating her, but it never happened. She said it herself. It never happened. It was just a precaution. And since it never happened, she stayed with him. She married him. She was his girlfriend, and she became his wife and had children, 3 children.
So did she file a police report against him? Yes or no?
Yes, and then she said that nothing happened. It was a restraining order in case.
So
Precaution, a precaution.
If he didn't do anything, why would she do that?
Because she said she had a disagreement and she was scared that the same thing that another man did to her will happen. It was a precaution.
So it's not
Just in case.
just battered wife syndrome.
Okay, you will have to prove this because so far we have his own wife with his children.
Yeah, of course
that-
you're
by
gonna
the
want.
way-
Of course you're gonna want him back. He has a job, and they're getting like the family's getting money and donations from it too.
Okay,
of course you're
okay.
gonna support
Why
him.
did you? Okay, tell me, man. Why did you grape 3 women last night? By the way, trust me, bro. They just won't say it. They just won't admit it. Do you understand how bad this logic is? I could accuse you of doing the same
What
thing.
you mean? What you mean accused? They have the police report. She just didn't show up. She didn't show
Yes,
up to
and
like
what
the final
happens is
hearing and
then-
stuff like that. So they dropped the case.
And what happened since then? It's been years. Nothing happened, and she never went to
probably
court. She
because
never
she's scared.
accused them. No. Okay. So it's trust me, bro. We have absolutely no evidence, no pictures, just a restraining order
Okay,
and
okay.
our own
Let's
version.
just say this. Let's just say this. If you tell me that he can't be illegally removed. He can't be removed, right?
If they were remove his work permit, yes, but it was
Where
not.
where
His
are
deportation
you
was
getting
illegal.
that he needs to get his work permit removed first?
I saw a lawyer talk about it, and by the way, why else would he be removed? Like you haven't given me the reason why it
Because
was
he
removed.
was here. Literally, the only reason you could be removed is for being here illegally. That's all you need. If you're not a legal
Okay,
citizen,
go on,
legal
okay.
permanent resident, or a
Go
visa
on,
holder,
Grok.
you
Go
could be
on
removed.
Twitter. Go use the Elon Musk AI and ask, did Kilmore Garcia have a work permit? And tell me the first word that appears on your screen. Spoiler alert, it's yes. We already went through it. Like, why do you run in circles? Like, I already debunked your argument.
Give me a minute. I got you, big dog. I got you.
Oh my. This is beyond evil. Like, this is morally abhorrent. A man is in a torture camp and you're defending it. Like, everybody will say, every single Supreme Court judge will say it's illegal.
How you know
They
he's getting
have no
tortured
proof.
right now?
Xenis will say they have no proof, and you're here defending your government like a bootlicker.
What are you talking about? He's in a torture camp. Where are you getting that from?
There's multiple. You can look up the articles from Human Rights Watch. They have multiple reports
So a
of
journalist
human
just said it,
torture.
right?
Human Rights Watch is the biggest organization for human rights. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, you know absolutely nothing about this.
You just this is okay. So he's getting tortured right now. You're telling me.
It might be there's reports of torture. Like apparently from the accusation from multiple testimonies, their invitation, like the first thing they do is for 1 hour they beat on them, they humiliate them, they put them naked and they start pushing them around, beating them with
They
batons.
put them naked so they could see if they have anything on them.
No, they put them naked on the ground in a cell and they start beating them on their first day for 1 hour. There's multiple reports that are consistent with each other. The prison guards violate them, like they humiliate them. Okay, you go Human Rights Watch CICOT report.
Because when we saw him when he was having drinks with the governor from I forgot the name, Maryland, did he have any bruises on him or anything like that?
We don't know. And
Bro,
just from looking,
did that governor say that he had bruises on him?
the government didn't see him naked. If they hit his back, his chest, his legs, like most people will do, they will not see him.
Why didn't he ask them?
It's been 1 month. You no longer have bruises after 1 month, and you realize that they did the exact same thing during the Holocaust. Like when the Polish ghetto, the Jews were beating so bad, and when they had a report that the Red Cross was going to inspect the ghetto, they made the ghetto beautiful. They repainted the walls, they put flowers, they made people dress well. So when the Red Cross arrived to the ghetto where people were getting murdered, they all saw people being well, new flowers, everything was beautiful. It was better than most German cities. Like, this is what a government will do to hide its crime. The Nazis did the same. Like, one of the camps in Auschwitz was a complex of 52 camps. And one of these camps was called the family camps, when they had a theater.
Wait,
Give me
one moment.
Oh my God.
I got this for my wife. Sorry, I'm back. I have this for my wife. You good, honey? So first of all, you're telling me that they put this they filed this court case, but this court case ended up not being true. Now you're telling me that they went there, and when he was questioning they went there, had an interview with the I think the governor from Maryland, and they didn't have any. He didn't bring up any of the bruises, or he came back and say, "Oh yeah, he had bruises, or he was getting beat." If he was getting beat, stop. Let me finish. If he was getting beat, wouldn't he told the governor of Maryland that?
I don't know, probably was threatened by the guards. If you tell them anything, you're still stuck with us, so don't say a thing. Like, this is, what do you think he will do? If you were Kilmer Garcia, you are in a camp and you have a man that cannot get you out of the camp. Would you say?
If I was Kilmer Garcia, I wouldn't be a part of MS-13, first of all.
Yep. Going back to the same talking points, I already debunked. Jesus,
you didn't debunk that. You didn't. Just because you said you debunked something, don't mean you debunked it. We have the evidence of the tax.
Answer this. Why didn't Judge Xenis get any evidence when she asked the Trump administration? It was their time. Federal Judge Xenis from the Fourth Circus, the one that was talking about Kilmer Garcia. Judge Xenis from the Fourth Circus of the Court of Appeal.
X or Z?
Xenis, Xinis. She said that the evidence was thin, to say the least. Like, this talking point needs to die.
Another judge said something different. Just because you're just
no.
What about Judge Kessler? What about Judge Kessler?
In 2019, the one that gave him a withholding of removal and a work permit.
Yeah. What does the withholding removal mean?
Wait, so a
No.
Trump
What does
judge
stop. What does the withholding of removal means?
that you cannot be sent to a certain country, you cannot be
Yeah.
removed
So
from
they
the
could.
country to be sent.
You can't be sent to a certain country because of what?
For his case, it was because his life was threatened as a
And they
child.
don't have gang problems no more. So what are
Okay,
you
in
talking about?
2019, okay, you need to keep. Do you know that time moves in one direction? We're talking about 2019. In 2019, there was still a gang problem.
Yes, I'm talking about right now. He's there right now, right? He's not there in 2019. He's there right now. So why can't he be brought there right now? There's no gangs to be scared of.
Because the withholding of removal was still standing. The Trump administration could
Why
have
was the
removed it, but
withholding
they
of
did
removal
not.
still standing? Because the judge said that he was afraid of the gang violence. There is no
Okay.
gang right now.
Okay, then the Trump administration should have removed it, but they didn't. You need to stop running around. Like every single point you make is a point that I already addressed, and it's not even good.
No,
It's
you
just a
didn't.
bad.
Bro, you keep on telling me. You keep on saying, "Oh, you believe just because you say something, it's true." A withholding
I use
of
your own
removal
AI.
just means
Okay.
a withholding of removal just means he can't go to a particular country. Why can't
Okay,
he go to
what's
that
your
particular
argument
country
right now?
because of the
Okay,
issues they're having?
okay,
And another
explain
thing,
what your argument is right
work
now.
visa does not mean he can stay here forever. A work visa does not mean he can,
Never said that.
He can't.
Strawman.
A work visa does not mean he can't be removed. Does,
Okay,
does a work visa mean you can't be removed?
Nope. Paraphrase my argument right now.
You tell me. You said that
Paraphrase
you said
my
that
argument right now.
Can I say it? You told
Paraphrase
me.
my argument right now.
You told me that a work visa means that you gotta first remove the work visa and then kick him out, right?
Oh my.
Did you not? Say
Yes.
that? So what? Right?
It was not removed, so easily.
So you did not. You
Oh
said
my-
that, right? I got it right?
Okay. Okay, I will try to. Okay, open your ears.
You
It could
did-
have been deported. Yes, it could have been deported legally. My issue is not the deportation, it was the illegality. And the Supreme Court itself, word for word, said that it was illegal. But for the gang membership, Judge Jose asked the Trump administration if they had evidence. They did not. You
What
said
about
you
the-
beat
they
his
showed the
wife.
tattoos on his
Oh,
knuckles.
what?
What are you talking
Okay,
about?
this move. Okay, in what world does Kurt Cobain smile mean S? Like the MS-13.
What about the 3 other tattoos?
Okay, since when does a leaf means M?
What about
Like,
the
do you
3
realize
other?
that-
You only talk about, bro. He had
Okay,
the similar
since
tattoos
when does
as
a skull mean
MS-13.
tree?
He was found.
Okay,
He
since
was
when
found
does a
with
cross
MS.
mean warm?
Was he found with MS-13 gang members?
Yes, waiting for work in a parking lot.
So he was
not
found with
hanging out with them.
MS-13. Oh, you just say waiting for work in a parking lot. Okay. So he was
Yes.
found with. Did he have cash that had the eyes and the ears crossed out?
I have no idea, and it's irrelevant. It was not proven in
That's
the
what
court of law.
MS-13 does. That's one of their stuff.
Okay,
Is it
was
not?
it proven in court? Was it proven in court?
They brought that up in court, right?
And what happened?
Let me find you the exact court case.
No, wait. What?
No.
happened
I'm gonna
after
bring
that?
it. They
What
that,
was the
proof
verdict?
that he was an
What
MS-13 gang member.
was the verdict?
Did you not
What
hear
was the
me?
verdict?
Did you not hear me?
What was the verdict?
He was an
Yes, I
MS-13
know.
gang
What was the
member.
verdict?
He was an MS-13 gang
Okay,
member.
why
He was
did-
an
okay,
MS-13 gang
why
member.
did
you hear
it
me? He
not
was an
present-
MS-13
okay.
gang member.
Okay, why? Okay, can you name the court verdict with the jury?
What you mean with a jury?
Okay, if he was a gang member, why wasn't he charged by the Trump administration in 2019?
He didn't get charged. He said that he got a holding of removal. They didn't
Why?
charge.
Wasn't
you
he a
can't
gang
be-
member?
Can you be charged
Wait,
for being
wasn't
a
he a
gang
gang member?
Can you
Wait.
be
Yes.
charged for being a gang member? Can you
Yes,
be,
criminal affiliation. Yes,
so he could be charged for just being a gang member in America?
criminal affiliation. This is
Criminal
okay,
affiliation
yes.
is a crime? What you talking about? Criminal affiliation.
Okay, if he was a gang member,
So-
he must have produced crime. Why wasn't there
No.
an investigation?
Is being
What-
a
what-
gang member in itself a crime? Yes or no?
If you are an actual member, yes, it's a gang. It's a criminal affiliation. It
Well,
would
okay,
have
so
been
that-
investigated. It will have been investigated. It was not. By the way, it's hearsay from one person. You keep running back to this argument. You have arguments that the Trump administration will not even dare to make. Who are you holding water for?
are you
The
talking
Supreme
about?
Court is just- Okay,
Bro,
the
criminal
judge
affiliation.
says-
Criminal affiliation. Or wait, let me say.
Okay, let me summarize the case. Judge Xenis said that there was no evidence that he's a gang member. The Trump administration apparently didn't even try. The Supreme Court all said unanimously that it was illegal in a 9-0 decision. The DOJ did not even charge Gilmore Garcia with a single crime, and his own wife said that he'd never beat on her. So far, all you have is, trust me, bro, I feel like it.
What about Judge Kessler? What did she say? Because Judge Kessler was the one that said that she was that he was a gang member.
I already went over it.
Judge Kessler was the one that said that he was a gang member. What are you talking about?
I saw a lawyer, I saw a practicing attorney explain to it. In these immigration cases, you cannot reject any evidence, even though it's hearsay that you cannot verify. So when there was hearsay that the judge could not even verify, you have to take it into account. So what the judge saw, they said, well, there's evidence that he's a gang member. It's weak. You have nothing to do. But it was so weak that nothing happened from this evidence, and he was given a work permit.
So the judge in 2019, that judge found them to be past proven with a past proven reliable source.
When you say found, when you say found, you realize that it was not found. All the judge is saying is that we have one allegation and that's it, and we cannot dismiss it. So we have to assume he's a gang member, but there was no verdict because in this case it didn't matter.
So those, okay. This is from News Nation. Determining that the respondent is a gang member to be trustworthy is supported by evidence in the records, namely information contained in the gang field interview sheet. Although the court is reluctant to give eventual weight to the respondent clothing as an indictment of the gang official, the fact that a past proven and reliable source of information verified the respondent's gang membership, rank, and gang name is sufficient to support that the respondent is a gang member. Kessler wrote. Kessler was the judge.
Yeah. It's hearsay. Yeah. What he's saying is that
the judge said that he was a gang member, right?
No, the judge said that this was the evidence and he had his end tied. Can you not process the words that I'm telling you? I already discovered it 3 times now. Repeat what I said. Paraphrase my argument.
I'm not going to repair. You're wrong. You're trying to say that he didn't have enough evidence. You're trying to say they didn't have enough evidence.
Process the words I say. My problem is you cannot process the words I say. So
past proven and reliable source of information verified the respondent's gang membership. Gang member rank and gang member name is sufficient to support that the respondent is a gang member, Kessler wrote. What are you talking about? The judge said it himself that he was a gang member. You're trying to say that, oh, it was a reliable. The judge said it was a reliable source, and you're getting mad at the judge. You're trying to disagree with a judge when what they say. Why would I process what you said? I process what you said. What you said was wrong. Like, oh, process what they say. Process what they say. Like, you was wrong, big dog. Like, gee, golly. This is the people on the left, bro. This is how people on the left think. Just because I say, oh, I debunked it. You're right. Just because you say you debunked something, don't mean you're correct. I'm literally reading the source that said that, oh, he's a past. But what did I say? It doesn't matter what you say when I'm literally reading what the judge said. If I could read what the judge said, what does it matter what you say? You aren't the judge in the case, bro. And like, even if like, come on now, y'all really trying to die in this hill, even though the dude is gonna get sent right back to another country if he does come in here. Oh my goodness, that was giving me a headache. Oh, all right, y'all. All right, I'm gonna start a different life in a little while. It's gonna be about the whole Shannon Sharp thing. Go ahead, check in on that one. But for now, I'm out, y'all.